Hello everyone and welcome to the first vidcast from Footy Media Watch. So this is episode 1 and we'll just be going through firstly the rules for the 2011 Dream Team and Supercoach comp, and then we'll be going through the first group of players, and they'll be the defenders. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing to look for in each of the competitions when you're choosing your players is what your players actually get points for. It's different in each of the competitions. So in Dream Team it's very basic, just purely statistical based, so it's just purely how many kicks, handballs, goals, marks, tackles, etc. you get, which you can see there. But in Supercoach, things are a lot more complicated. It more relates to the effectiveness of the possessions that they get rather than just pure quantity, and also how they get them, whether they be contested or uncontested. So a little bit more complicated. You can see the points you get for each thing there, so you can assess your players based on how they go in those fields statistically. Now there are some few changes for both competitions this year, which are same at both comps. So there are some strategic considerations to make. First of all, you've got squad sizes going up to 33, so you've got one more on the bench in the forwards, midfields, and defenders. You got 4 extra trades this season, so that should help people manage their way through buys and stuff if need be. But with the extra couple of rounds, they'll probably be needed also, so be careful with your trades. League competitions, instead of starting in round 4 like they usually do, now start off in round 1. So in the very first week you'll be in a competitive match against someone in your league, but there'll be buys through your league during the year, and they'll match up with the AFL rounds where three AFL teams have buys, so no one will be disadvantaged too much by missing too many players in a particular week. As usual, there's league finals from 21 to 24. Probably the considerations to make with your league finals is that there's still AFL buys running throughout the finals. So in those last 4 rounds of the year, just make sure none of your best players will be out because their AFL team has a bye. Now this is, whilst I've been setting up my team, I've been kind of analysing how to balance up my team so I'm not too affected by buys. Probably come up with a couple of rules, and that's to have a maximum of 4 players for any one team and a maximum of 2 players for any one team in a certain position. So no more than 2 players from, say, Melbourne in the defence, etc. So there are a couple of rules. And with that also, I'm going to utilise the dual position players wherever possible in the team to help manage the amount of trades that need to be used throughout the year. So if one player's out with a bye and they're a midfield defender and I've got a midfield defender sitting on my bench, I can swap those out and get some extra depth in a particular position that I need. The next point is to assume nothing from last year. So at the end of the pre-season NAB Cup and Challenge competitions, Champion Data will release all of the stats from all the games that have been played. So you can see which players from last year are performing as they did last year, which players are performing better than they did last year, and which players are playing worse than they did last year, just based on 4 or 5 practice match games. So it's well worth checking out those stats when you're setting up your team to see if anyone's dropped form or have got a new role and maybe really improved their form over the summer. And the last rule, which is common for every single year through fantasy footy, is never trade during the week. Always wait till the Thursday teams are announced before you make any trades, just to make sure you don't burn any trades that you don't need to. So that's all the considerations from a strategic point of view. Now there are a few tools for the trade which if you write into your Supercoach and Dream Team you should be looking at. The most important one is the AFL prospectus. That's got all the stats for the last 5 years that the current crop of AFL players have got in both Supercoach and Dream Team, so you can see how they've scored over the last 5 years, just on an average basis. And it's also got their disposal efficiencies and stuff, which really helps with setting up your Supercoach team. The AFL record is more generic generic guide to the AFL season. It's not really specifically targeted on fantasy footy, but it's still good if you're an AFL fan. But it's about $40, I think. So if you need to choose between the prospectus and the record, I'd go for the prospectus if you're going to use it for fantasy footy. NAB Cup AFL record is very good for Dream Teamers. It's $7, so it's cheap, and it's got plenty of guides and strategies and stuff in there for the Dream Team competition. So for $7, you can't go wrong with that one. As I said before, Champion Data release all the pre-season stats through a free newsletter that you can register for on their website. So I'd highly recommend you do that. There's a Dream Team and a Supercoach iPhone app. So you can manage your dream team from your iPhone. If you can't get to your computer on a Friday night or something else, you can make all your trades and substitutes and emergencies and stuff from your phone. So very handy. And finally, whilst this isn't really a tool from the trade, and it was there last year, there are some new gold packages which give you on their websites much better player stat analysis. They, for the first time, give you the break-even scores for each player each week, so it'll let you know if a player needs to get a high score to keep their value, and if they get below that, then you know their value is going to get down, so you can manage your players and trades and your watch list a bit more effectively. And there's a Pro League competition, which is very interesting. You get to go into a live draft where you and your mates, like in the AFL draft, each get to pick a team, and each team has got its own individual set of players, so no team is the same. It costs a little bit of money, but I played it last year and it was pretty good fun. And there are the costs. So it's $20 if you register before March 22, and $25 afterwards. So that's up to you guys if you want to fork out the dosh to do that.